The wind clawed at Ethan Hale's doorway as he blinked against the downpour. The stormlight flickered over the bundle at his feet, a child wrapped in metallic cloth, trembling, breath shallow, glowing faintly beneath the blanket. For a long heartbeat, Ethan didn't move. He'd seen strange things in this neighborhood, wild animals, stolen packages, once even a drunk man sleeping in his yard, but never a baby that hummed. The faint vibration crawled up through the floorboards and into his bones. He crouched, hands shaking. "Hey there, little... guy." The infant opened its eyes, golden, wide, impossibly clear. They reflected him like mirrors, scared and curious at once. Ethan's breath fogged in the air. "Okay," he muttered. "Either I'm dreaming or I need to quit those night shifts." The baby whimpered, a sound like a violin string snapping. Instinct replaced confusion. Ethan scooped it up, warmth flooding back into his frozen fingers. The skin beneath the blanket was cool but alive, faintly pulsing with light. Inside, the heater rattled against the cold. He cleared space on the couch, wrapping the baby in an old flannel jacket. "Who leaves a kid out there?" he whispered, glancing toward the window. Only darkness looked back. He searched for a phone signal. Dead. Power lines must have gone down again. He laughed under his breath, half nervous, half relieved. "Of course. Storm of the century, alien baby on my sofa, and no Wi-Fi." "Classic Tuesday," the baby quieted, eyelids fluttering. Ethan felt his pulse slow with it. He poured warm milk into a cup, dipped a spoon, and touched it gently to its lips. The child swallowed, humming faintly. The light under its skin pulsed brighter for a second, then softened. A knock startled him. 3 slow, deliberate hits on the door. He froze, turning toward the sound. Through the frosted glass, a shadow wavered, tall, fragile, swaying. He opened the door halfway. A woman, not human, collapsed forward, skin the color of dusk, silver veins glowing under her skin. She looked up once, eyes fierce even through exhaustion. "Please," she gasped, voice breaking. "My son, he's hungry." The door blew shut behind them as thunder rolled overhead. Ethan dragged the door shut against the storm and lowered the woman to the rug. Her skin was icy cold but pulsing faintly, as if light tried to escape from underneath. The baby stirred, sensing her presence. Hey, don't move," he said, fumbling for a blanket. "You need warmth." She flinched at his touch, eyes darting across the room like a cornered animal's. Her breathing was ragged, shallow. Then she saw the baby in his arms and reached out instinctively. The sound she made wasn't quite a word, more like a low melody that vibrated through the air. The baby answered with a soft glow. Ethan didn't understand the language, but the meaning was clear enough. Family, fear, hunger. He helped her sit up near the heater, placing the infant in her lap. "You both look like you've been through hell." The woman looked up, trying to form words. "Nara," she said slowly, pointing to herself. "Leor," she added, touching the child. "Ethan," he replied, hand over his chest. She tried to repeat it. Han. The syllables awkward but sincere. He offered a mug of warm water. She drank cautiously, eyes never leaving him. When she noticed him watching the faint light moving beneath her veins, she turned her hand over, embarrassed. He looked away politely. Silence filled the room, except for the wind outside and the baby's tiny hum. Ethan finally broke it. "If I call someone, an ambulance, the police, they'll—" "What, help you? Or take you?" Her head snapped up, panic. She shook her head violently. "No police." "No men, they hunt." Ethan's stomach tightened. "Who hunts?" She pressed a trembling hand to her chest. "Humans, soldiers, they take our blood." He thought of the news reports, rumors about biological intruders, government experiments dismissed as hoaxes. He wanted to laugh it off, but her eyes, those golden, honest eyes, made denial impossible. He rubbed the back of his neck. "You picked the wrong mechanic's house for a safe haven." She tilted her head. "Safe haven?" He sighed, half smiling despite himself. "Means you can stay for now." For the first time she smiled faintly. It was fragile but real. Outside the storm eased, yet something heavier settled between them, a quiet understanding that danger hadn't passed. It had only found an address. By morning the storm had thinned to a drizzle. But the silence outside felt wrong, too deliberate. Ethan stood at the window, coffee in hand, eyes scanning the grey horizon. The neighborhood was still, yet a low hum echoed faintly in the air, mechanical and steady. Drones, maybe. Behind him, Nara sat cross-legged on the living room floor, coaxing little Lior to feed. The baby drew faint light from a glowing blue crystal cupped in her palm. It shimmered with every heartbeat, filling the room with a soft warmth that no heater could match. Ethan couldn't help watching. "That thing, what is it?" he asked. "Home," she murmured. "Part of our ship." Energy for him. And for me, he nodded slowly. "So it's your battery and your baby bottle." "Got it." She blinked, confused by his humor, then smiled, understanding his tone, if not his words. For a second, the tension eased until a sharp knock shattered it. Ethan froze. Nara instinctively covered the crystal and pulled Lior close. Another knock, firm, official. Through the peephole, Ethan saw a man in a black government windbreaker, badge flashing beneath the rain. Agent Voss, the nameplate read. Clean-cut, polite smile, eyes that measured everything. Ethan cracked the door. "Something wrong, Agent?" "Routine check," Voss replied smoothly. Thermal scanners picked up unusual heat signatures last night. Storm interference, most likely. "Mind if I take a quick look around?" Ethan forced a chuckle. "Heat signatures? I've got a furnace older than you, probably the culprit." The agent's gaze slid past him into the house. "Still protocol," Ethan's pulse thundered. "Fine, but keep your shoes off. Floor's wet." He moved aside, heart pounding as Voss stepped in. Nara hid in the basement stairwell, clutching Lior tight, whispering a soft rhythmic tone to muffle his breathing. The baby glowed faintly beneath the blanket. Voss walked the rooms, expression unreadable. When he left, he patted Ethan's shoulder. "Appreciate your cooperation." Ethan closed the door, only when the hum of the government vehicle faded. Then he noticed a small black device blinking beneath the window frame, a tracker. His throat went dry. "They found us," he whispered. Nara met his eyes. "Then we run." Outside, the rain began again, slow, steady, relentless, like a countdown. Night returned with the kind of cold that burned the lungs. Ethan's truck rattled over ice-slick roads, headlights cutting tunnels through falling snow. Nara sat beside him, clutching Lior and the dimming crystal. Every few seconds, the baby's glow flickered weaker, like a candle fighting wind. "They planted a tracker," Ethan said, voice tight. "They'll follow the signal straight to us." "Then we change the signal," Nara answered, pressing the crystal against the dash. A pulse rippled through the metal, freezing the radio into static. The lights dimmed for half a second, then steadied. "For now, they see only storm." Ethan exhaled. "Good trick. Next time, maybe use it on my electric bill." Her lips twitched. "You talk too much when afraid." "Yeah," he said. "It's either that or scream." They reached the forest line where black pines bowed under snow. Ethan killed the engine. Behind them, distant beams of searchlights moved across the hills. He grabbed a small pack, food, tools, blanket, and motioned for her to follow. The woods swallowed them whole. Branches cracked under their boots, every sound sharper than it should be. Somewhere above, the faint buzz of drones drifted closer. Nara stopped suddenly. "There," she whispered, pointing through the trees. Half buried under ice was the shattered curve of alien metal, the remains of her ship. Ethan knelt beside the wreck. "You came down hard. Many died," she said softly. "But Lior lived. That's why I left him at your door." "Humans kill what they fear." He met her gaze. "Not all of us." They pried open the pod, connecting the crystal to a socket pulsing faintly. A wave of light rolled out, warm enough to sting their faces. Leah cooed, skin brightening, life returning. Then came the hum, louder now, closing fast. Searchlights cut through the trees. "Go!" Ethan shouted. Nara hesitated, looking at him. "You can still run." He shook his head. "Not leaving family." They plunged through the snow as bullets snapped branches overhead. Ethan grabbed her hand, pulling her behind a fallen log. Lior whimpered, the sound soft but unmistakable. From above, the drone light circled, then paused, searching. "Hold your breath," Ethan whispered. "And pray they don't find us." The forest glowed faintly blue, heartbeat against the dark. The sky was beginning to pale when the forest finally fell silent. Ethan's breath came in clouds, his jacket torn, his hands numb. Nara knelt beside the pod, the crystal now blazing bright enough to paint the snow in shifting light. Laya rested against her chest, alive and calm for the first time since the storm began. Ethan leaned against a tree, exhaustion clawing at him. "Please tell me that light means we're saved and not vaporized." Nara looked up, her face streaked with frost. "It means they heard us." A deep hum rolled through the air, steady, rising. Above the treetops, clouds split apart, and a sleek silver craft descended slowly, scattering snow in spirals. The sound wasn't thunder. It was music, low, resonant, beautiful. Ethan stared, awe and fear tangled in his chest. "So, that's your ride?" Before Nara could answer, shouting echoed behind them. Flashlights cut through the woods. Agent Voss and his team broke through the trees, weapons drawn, faces hard. "Step away from the alien," Voss barked. "You've done enough damage," Ethan raised his hands. "She's not your experiment, Voss. She's a mother." "Look at them," Voss sneered. "They're a threat." The craft above them pulsed brighter. The crystal in Nara's hands responded, humming in perfect harmony. A beam of light shot upward, connecting sky and earth. Voss flinched, covering his face. His scanner beeped wildly, displaying overlapping DNA signatures. Human and Valari. Ethan glanced at the screen. His own readings flashed there, merged with Nara's. "What the hell?" Nara's voice was soft. "Our worlds were once one. They made us forget." For a moment, no one moved. Then Voss lowered his gun, confusion cutting through his certainty. Nara touched Ethan's hand. "Come with us. You have part of our truth." He looked up at the ship, then down at the snow-covered forest. "My place is here. People need to know." She hesitated, then pressed half of the glowing crystal into his palm. "Then keep the light." The ship rose, vanishing into the dawn. Ethan stood alone beneath the falling snow, the crystal's warmth steady against his chest. He smiled faintly and whispered, "Guess I really did take them both in." The forest exhaled. Morning broke.